that were just unexplainable. There was far too many questions about her than there was answers. Um, she would know when a person that was coming up on the street was not to be trusted. She would give me nudges. She would tell me. Um, she was really in tune as to what was happening, what was going on. I know German Shepherds have a bit of a wolf gene in them. Um, she was absolutely precious to me, and when she was eventually put down, I, I remember breaking down quite a number of places when I was just routinely doing shopping or walking the streets. I would just think about that moment where I realized that she wasn't part of my life, and I would literally tear down my face, and people would be like, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" But I mean, this is the kind of connection you have, a bond with animals, and you have that. They become almost. I was that term is overused, but I would use the term family. In this regard, I mean, she was more like almost like my nanny or my protector. That's the way she saw herself. She didn't see herself as being a pet. She saw herself mostly like trying to protect me, um, trying to nurture me, trying to do the best she can to make sure that I'm well, make sure that I'm okay, both physically and mentally. Uh, Another thing that animals are really good at is telling your mental capacity. Um, that's another thing as well. But I kind of went off topic there. Kind of introduction, or maybe for the next Ghost Recon game is having wild animals. So, for instance, having a little swim in the water here would be quite risky. You know, knowing that there's sharks in the water. You know, it's like there's sharks in the water. There's alligators in the swamps. Um, kind of thinking, oh look, I fell through into deep. Oh no, it's piranha infested. Or there's an alligator there. Oh no, it's trying to get me. Or it'll be a bit more like a danger element to the game. In animals, which I know what will end up happening. I think that this is probably one of the reasons why Ghost Recon does have animals, mostly like in deer species and a couple of wild boars running around here and there. But it's kind of World 2.0, which is kind of the I think the whole agenda is to kind of minimize the dangers to humanity from wildlife species, which I think might even end up being true in the future. Maybe after 2035, 37, we'll see animals maybe being eradicated for different purposes, different reasons. We're already seeing that there's a massive decline in the population of horses. Again, horses are such beautiful beings, and to see them in supermarkets being sold and being consumed as any sort of meat. I know humans are both carnivores and omnivores, and they eat vegetables and meat and all sorts, but it breaks my heart because horses are so clever as well. Compared to a dog, a horse would happily save your life. If you were driving in a river, a horse, if you bonded with a horse and the horse knew you, it will happily come and try to save you. I mean, these are the kind of little minute things that us humans take privilege of, or sometimes don't take privilege of, or don't think about in working animals, and we don't care about them, and they end up in the shops being sold, and the way the mistreatment of them in places like Mexico, for instance, the way they get put down is it's to me it's heart wrenching. But I won't go into those details. I'm just going to talk about the game, and having these extra dangerous species in the game where you walk in the hills or getting near a cave, there'll be a chance of meeting a bear. Would be kind of a surprise element, would be quite interesting. But then again, knowing that the game will take a turn for the worse, probably having no animals as a dangerous threat is probably for the better. Moving on, I mentioned camp, having food at camp. I think cooking would be another good part. preparing your own food with the resources that you pick up, such as you pick up different fruits, and I think there's vegetables in there. I'm sure there's vegetables. We pick up mushrooms and different spices. Would be interesting to make different kind of foods. Um, Obviously, if you're new to cooking and you don't know anything about making some sort of cuisine, you don't know anything about food. It could be like maybe like a handbook you can read in the game. It'll give you idea for provisions and how to prepare them, and then you can light a fire and then put like something on the stove and sorry, like a pan. Um, Again, it will open up a whole new dimension element where it's not just about shooting and killing people and doing missions. There's a little bit more. It's more I don't know, spread out, and it's more. There's more things to do, kind of thing. Yeah. So that'll be interesting as well, like preparing food and cooking. And I think another interesting point, although I never see this ever happening, although it would be really funny and cool both at the same time if it ever did. Um, is how do I say this without sounding crass or sounding stupid? It's uh, relieving yourself. Let's put it that way. It would be funny to be able to relieve yourself. I don't know. Have a number one and a number two, if you know what I'm talking about. Um, it would be funny seeing enemy soldiers relieving themselves, and then um, suddenly they didn't. You're attacking a camp, and the soldiers running out of cubicles and saying how you caught them with their pants down, kind of thing. It probably had a bit of a humorous element, but um, it's just one of those things that you not really thinks about. But then again, I'm kind of out there with my thoughts, and it would be kind of funny to do. Not to do, but kind of have. You know, if you are consuming food, then obviously it has to go somewhere, right? And then you find yourself in the middle of a fight, and you have to relieve yourself, and that will be quite funny, right? Um, Even as a player, you know, you're like, oh no, oh, that's all the water I drank earlier. Like, for instance, we in the game we carry these flasks, the water canteen, but you can't drink it unless you've wasted on stamina, which kind of defeats the purpose of kind of keeping your hydration levels. I think we should be able to drink it any time, and then it kind of boosts your hydration level, and you don't have to think about it for the next like half an hour, 40 minutes. I think the times need to be kept at a good distance, because you don't want it going down too quick, and you have like 10 minutes later you have to have another drink. That'll be defeating the purpose of having it there in the first place, because you don't want to get too annoying with it. It's just like with food consumption as well. You don't want to get too annoying with it by, oh, I need to prepare this, I need to cook this. Then it'll turn into a cooking game or a drinking game, and that's just a bit silly to me. But having it there as a first start of place would be interesting, just to have as a little sort of sidescape, or some sort of distraction from the main play. Oh, guys, let's go into a camp real quick. Let's consume some food. Oh yeah, I've got some chocolate bars I picked up from this base. I can eat those. I'm going to eat the food, and you can maybe prepare the food that you maybe have resources for, or you have the ingredients for, and you can share it with your team. I mean, that'll add like a new element, right? And then you all get like a boost in, I don't know, you maybe, if you have too much food, your stamina decreases, but your health increases, and your concentration increases if you have coffee. But coffee is, for some people, it's known to be, it dehydrates your body pretty quick, so you're like, I don't know, you might suffer some sort of short-term dehydration problem, or you might it force you to you'll have to go and relieve yourself. Sometimes coffee does that to me. I'm just trying to go from like a realistic point of view, but it'll be interesting to just, like, include different touches for the game. Anyway, that's me for now, and then I'll jump on to doing missions.